Hey y'all, it's your girl Annette J. Morris, the CEO and owner of Go Getter LLC. And y'all know it's the vision at Go Getter LLC to help women to identify their gifts and convert their gift into a 5 to 7 figure income generating business that supports their lives and legacies, as well as I am your host for the Mind TV series. And y'all know the Mind is an acronym for moving in new directions. Each week we bring a bomb boss on that talks about their entrepreneurship journey and how their entrepreneurship venture has moved their lives in new directions. This week is no different. But we have my sissy in the building, y'all. This has been one of my best friends for, girl, we've been friends since like 1989. This has been... Well, they know we still 25, so it don't matter. Like, I don't care how y'all counting and you carry you one and all that or whatever, but we still 25 and we're going to be 25 until y'all can prove us alive. So y'all can't prove it because y'all ain't got no birth certificates on us, all right?
What she said.
So tell the people who y'all got.
Hi, everybody. My name is Krishanda. My business is Chrissy Sweet Creations, where we do baking, mostly dessert cakes and cupcakes, and also candles. I have a candle line. Love candles. It's a passion of mine. It's the scents, probably 2 minutes.
But the cake is the devil too. The cakes are the devil. Like, this is how I learned how to bake cakes from scratch. Because when I was younger, me and Betty Crocker was good friends.
Yeah, hey,
Cracker, Hub, all us was good friends. We was. I get in that box and put that little couple all and whip them 2 eggs and baby, the cake be done. You hear me?
Zhuzh it up. It's okay.
Okay,
They did
the work for me. That's what I used to say. And then she was showing off, like, we was in high school and she making cakes from scratch. I was like, why do you know how to do that? Like, we 10.
Listen. Okay.
Why do you know how that the butter's supposed to be out and it's supposed to be room temperature? And even when she taught me, look, one time I was like, well, I ain't leave it sitting out, but I'm gonna put it in the microwave and zap it. Cake came out all wrong. I was like, sis. And that's what it was. Sis, it didn't come out right. She was like, she already knew what I had done wrong. She was like, did you let the butter sit out? I was like, well, it was still a little cool, so I microwave. She said, that's not what I told you to do. I told you room temperature. Well, it was room temperature when it came out the microwave. I mean, what do you want?
No. It was good and melted.
Yeah, it was melted, and that cake was horrible. It was nothing like hers. But I learned, y'all.
Look, sometimes you gotta stumble before you get it.
Oh, that was a big stumble because that cake was so hard. I could have hit myself in the head with it and knocked myself unconscious. I was like, this is horrible. Let me stick to Betty Crocker.
But yes, I do. I love to bake. It's a family thing, actually. My grandmother would get up and just out of the blue bake a 7-layer cake for no reason, just because, and don't measure anything.
Yeah,
till the ancestors tell her.
Okay, that's enough. Right. You good?
Right, but that cake would be delicious, delicious. And the simplest things, she would make it, and she used jelly.
Oh yeah, my mama used to use jelly as the filling.
You know,
I
her
used to
jelly.
love that. Yeah.
But that cake was the best cake. You'd have thought you went to a bakery.
Yeah, but my mom was doing it out the box too. She was one of those. Yeah. Ancestors ain't tell her nothing that Betty Crocker couldn't tell her.
Well,
like
I say, for me, that's where it started.
Yeah, because she's been doing it since a little kid, y'all.
Yeah.
So, yes, well, tell the audience. So, this is your entrepreneurship venture now, but tell them where you started. Like, prior to going into entrepreneurship full time, what was life like for Chrissy?
So, my life was hectic. I mean, chaotic and stressful. I worked for Walmart on the corporate end, doing admin. And I ran an entire office by myself. I had not one team, but 2. So, and under that umbrella, that was a total of almost 20 Walmart stores.
Oh, wow.
Super center stores. Yes, so think about it. I had the level, the team level that actually we went into the stores to make sure everything was okay. And then we also had to deal with each individual store's management level. So there was a lot of people, a lot of stress, a lot of problems. Then I had customers. I still had to deal with them on a daily basis. Because when you can't get what you want done in the store, you got to go somewhere else. Well, I was somewhere else.
Yeah. Use the default.
I was somewhere else that they went to first. So again, dealing with the day-to-day operations of the business and of 20 stores, and then all of the customers.
Yeah, that's
It
a lot.
was a lot.
That's a lot.
It
Yeah,
was
because I
a
can
lot.
remember sometimes she would come in town. Like one time she called herself running away from home and moving to Dallas. And she would come home for a visit. And every time like we sit down, she got to answer calls. She got to call. I'm like,
Yes.
you're on vacation. Stop answering those phone calls. I have to. I say, no, you don't. Because if you were deceased, what would they be doing? Well, let them figure that out. Let them do whatever they would do if you were deceased. Let them do that. Because my thing is, we have to teach employers how to treat employees, right? And to learn work-life balance, right? And if you are calling me when I'm at home, a work-home
Listen.
balance, work-life balance, right? If you calling me when I'm at home, I'm still in work mode.
Let me tell you something. There was no separation
Mm-hmm.
there, and I still communicate with some of the people
Mm-hmm.
that I worked with, and there is still no separation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because the company does allow for it. Don't misunderstand me. It's, you have guidelines, and then you have the people who have to execute it.
The guidelines. Mm-hmm.
And their interpretation is their interpretation. It's just not what it's
This ain't what
supposed
Mr.
to be.
Sam Walmart was telling y'all. Like,
Right.
y'all, listen,
You know.
y'all gotta read this again. Yeah.
So it was never an off switch for
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never an off switch for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Now
It's
you're
almost like
affecting
you in
my
work. You
health
in work all the time. In work mode all the time.
And
Yeah.
then I also, in my position, I worked remotely as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they could get in touch with me anytime they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
The emails never stopped. Like you said, the emails and the calls and all of this, it just never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
It never stopped.
And so when you're unable to separate work from personal life, what does that look like on you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally?
Let me tell you, I know God got tired of talking to me.
This girl gonna call me one more again.
Let me
I keep
tell you,
telling her.
the line was always missing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we going to talk about this. I need you to help me to work this out.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to a point where I have never suffered. I had never had elevated pressure and stress and all of that. And I had a procedure where I had been off work, out of, and then it came time for me to go back to work. So when I went back to the post-op and they were like checking my blood pressure and all of that, my doctor got nervous. He said, "Ms. Robinson, are you okay?" Now I'm nervous.
Right.
You the doctor, you tell
But I
me.
thought I was. Look, what's going on?
He said, as long as I've been your physician and treating you, you've never had an elevated pressure come back. You just went through surgery, and he had performed not one procedure for me, but actually two. And he said, you would go into surgery and your pressure was perfect. You come out and everything. He said, now it's elevated. What is going on? What has changed? I said, besides the fact that I'm going back to work.
You got anxiety just to go back to work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, well, what we're going to do is, I'm not going to approve you to go back to work today. We're going to wait a few days, and then I want you to come back. He said, but in the meantime, I want you to take some checks on yourself for your pressure and let me know what you find. So I was like, okay. So I went home and did what I normally do. I guess the fact that I didn't have to go, I checked, my pressure was okay.
No.
I was like, okay. Then I go back and see him. He said, "Ms. Robinson, your pressure is elevated."
Again, yeah. Just even thinking like the anxiety of going back to it all.
Yes, he said, we got a problem. He said, so either we're going to have to get this under control, because he was ready to refer me to another doctor. He said, or you're going to have to make some life changes. And I had been battling with whether or not I was going to continue on or start the business, step out on faith and do what I was passionate about. And so, I said, well, God, you've been pushing me for the longest.
This must be my sign.
And I wasn't listening.
This must be my sign.
I hear you now. So I had to step out on faith and make some changes. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did.
Which was good for your health.
It really was.
Mental health and all.
Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Because sometimes, again, and I had the privilege of presenting to some HR managers sometime last year, right? So like as people are getting ready to transition back into like the office space and all those type things or whatever, so they're just trying to figure out like how to handle it. And we had a lot of people abandon jobs as a result of COVID, because now they're realizing,
anxieties and
I don't need this job. You know what I mean? So you had the great exit, where a lot of people were like exiting different professions and work and all this other type of stuff. So like you have upper management, they're concerned now, like, what do we need to do in XYZ? And that was one of the main things that I said, like, you have to allow your employees to live their lives, right?
Exactly.
Because their whole life should not be taken over by what's going on at work. If you are upper management and you can't find a file or folder and this person is at home, wait till tomorrow when they get to the office, right? So now, because this is their time with their family, their selves, to decompress,
like
whatever it is, and you need to be able
balance.
to separate
That balance.
my work life from my real life. I shouldn't have to take work home. If you have already consumed 8 hours of my day from 8 to 5, 9 to 5 in the morning, you should not be consuming my 5 to 10, right? I should be able to separate, turn my brain off work mode, get into home mode. If I'm doing homework with the kids, cooking, whatever. If I'm sitting down eating bonbons, twiddling my thumbs, I should be
it's
able
my
to
time.
do that, right? I shouldn't have to
Exactly.
consider like, oh, where did I put this file? Oh, let me, I shouldn't have to do all of that, right? Because the body cannot function when it's constantly on go like that.
Agreed.
And I tell my clients, I'm like, listen, some of them like work like I'm hustling, I'm chasing a bag. No, you got to turn off sometimes.
Yeah.
Because even like
Yeah.
a computer, if you let that computer keep going, it is going to crash. If your body never stops, rest, recalibrate, you align yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, none of that, then eventually you're gonna burn out and crash as well,
I'ma
just like
tell
a
you,
computer.
And I still, it's funny that you say that, because I still wrestle with that within myself, right? So I still have to tell myself, you know what, you can do this tomorrow. You can finish this tomorrow. Go to bed, because I'll look up. Next thing I know, it's 12 o'clock. I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I still doing, So I have to force myself a lot of times to shut down, because I've been conditioned for so long to just get it done.
And keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep
no
going.
matter how long
No.
it takes to get it done. And so I still wrestle with that, and it's a battle. I'm going to get there though, because I'm getting better. I am getting better.
Because you also have to tell yourself, like, well, who gonna whip me if I stop?
You know?
And then also,
Man.
who gonna do it if I don't? Like, ain't nobody rushing to do the work, so it's gonna be there tomorrow when you get there. I promise that. Ain't nobody gonna come in and take your work. Ain't nobody gonna whip you if you don't work. None of that's gonna happen.
It's crazy, because you tell yourself, okay, if I get this done, then I'll have a few more minutes to do X, Y, Z, or then I'll have a few minutes. Maybe I could pick this book up and read. And you find yourself on a hamster wheel, because you're constantly never getting to that point where
Right.
you find yourself, oh, I have this extra time, let me go do this.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Sometimes extra time is to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
That's what I
so-
encourage. Sometimes we just need to sit down and do absolutely nothing.
I'm really trying to get there.
Yeah, your brain and
I'm
spirit
working
gonna
toward
thank you for it when you get to that level too. I promise you. Yeah, there are days, and again,
I'm working toward it.
I talk about this often. When I first started in entrepreneurship, like I would go to bed with the computer and laptop, wake up, sometimes papers pressed on my face,
Oh, my
all
goodness.
kind of stuff or whatever. Just the ultimate hustle. I had like 3 businesses at one time, and I'm just
Yes.
hustling. And you know what? Because in my mind, when you go from full-time employment to getting paid like every 2 weeks to entrepreneurship, like if I don't work it, I don't bring no money
Exactly.
in. You
Don't
like,
have that
I'm gonna do
guarantee.
everything. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do everything to make sure I make money. I gotta feed my kids and all this other stuff or whatever. And it's just it's a different journey, in entrepreneurship. But in the same token, like, you have to realize I am still a person. I still
Yeah.
need to, make sure I'm taking care of myself physically,
Decompress.
mentally,
Right.
refilling myself daily, all these other things or whatever. And at one time, I did not have a self-care routine. I would go to bed about 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in
And
the
be
morning,
up at
jump back
3.
up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm working again, and I'm working, and it was never like, oh, I'm gonna go exercise, or I'm gonna meditate. It was never none of that. It was like work, sleep a little
And
bit,
that's it.
work, sleep a little bit,
And
that was
took a
it.
nap. You
Yeah,
took a cat nap,
yeah, took a little cat nap.
and
It
that's
gave me
it.
enough energy to get back on this laptop and do it again, right? So it was non-self-care. It was like literally hustle.
24/7.
Yeah, and so I don't buy into that anymore. But I mean, we
Right.
older now, because I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 12 years, so I was like 34, 35.
Lessons on top of
At
lessons.
47, 48, that is not the thing. My brain, I don't have the capacity to do that anymore. Neither do I have the desire to do that anymore. It's just too
Oh,
much,
my
So yeah,
goodness.
ain't gonna do it. Ain't sitting up all night. You
Not
lucky
at
if you catch
all.
me at 9:30 wide awake. You hear me?
Not at
Because
all.
most nights by 9 I am out like a light, right? That's my bedtime. That was my bedtime when I was a little girl, and I used to be fussing. Why my mama make me
We
go to bed
all
at
was
9?
fussing.
Yeah, my
Like,
mama
what you
make me go to bed
mean?
at 9, and I make myself go to
Can I
bed at
watch that?
9.
Let me watch that one
Yeah,
thing on TV.
yeah, no,
just that one
I'm
thing.
not gonna
No,
watch that one
okay,
thing.
It's gonna watch me.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
I'm
gonna
going
watch
to
me.
sleep.
It's
Yeah.
definitely gonna watch me.
yeah.
So let's get into these candles, girl, because we done talked about the cake and stuff or whatever, but her true passion is both of them,
Yeah,
baking
'cause I love
and
to
candles.
bake.
So when
The
she actually
kitchen
started, it was
is
like
my
the
everything.
candles coincided with the cakes, which was
Right.
really a clever idea. But let's get into these candles. Show the people these candles, girl.
All right. So this is one of my favorite scents. It's called Skittles.
It smells so good, y'all. So good. Yes, so good. Yes.
So, and this is one of the multi wicks. It's a 3-wick.
Show the people.
It's a 3-wick. It can also be
Ooh, it
a
smells so
4,
good.
but they are full soy candles now.
Mm-hmm.
All soy.
What's the
So-
difference in soy and regular? I don't know the difference. I don't know the difference, y'all. Don't know it at all.
Okay, so
Regular. What's a regular candle?
Believe it or not, there are so many different types of waxes that you can use. Soy, coconut, beeswax.
See, I never even knew they
Paraffin.
had different
So-
waxes. I just burned them. I don't
And
know
even
them.
some you can mix, right?
Mhm.
So your soys are going to be more natural and they burn cleaner.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to do something like that, and if you have like allergies,
Mhm.
a soy is a better candle, a coconut
Mhm.
is a better coconut wax, beeswax. You want something like that. It doesn't have the additives.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it doesn't trigger
e-
like
exactly
your allergies. Okay.
right.
Okay.
So
all
you
right.
want something like that.
Mhm.
Now, don't misunderstand, and also the type of wax, the pour,
Mhm.
how they pour and how they set.
Mhm.
That also makes a difference in the type of wax.
Okay.
There are some that are single pour,
Mhm.
and then you have some that you have to go back and just take like a heat gun and
Mhm.
glaze over, which pure soy is one of those.
Mhm.
You know, to get, because your top may not set as smooth.
Mhm.
Your single pours will set smoother because they're generally like a paraffin base.
Mhm.
They are blended soy,
Mhm.
but it's most, you can do all paraffin or you can do a paraffin soy blend, and
Mhm.
then the spectrum of the blend can be more soy
Mhm.
with just a little bit of paraffin to help the setting of the soy wax,
Mhm.
and it still burns a lot cleaner. And
Mhm.
then you have the ones that are heavy on the paraffin, with a soy additive to it.
Okay.
So that's basically how you know, with as far as type of wax,
Mhm.
and why you would use the wax that you use. Soys are not easy to work with for a lot of people,
Mhm.
because you literally, making candles is a science.
Mm.
Now let me tell you,
Indeed, it is.
science was never my favorite subject in
Never.
school.
Never mind.
It just
either,
wasn't.
at all. Mm-mm.
However, when it comes to making these candles,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna learn everything I need to learn.
Mhm.
I'm gonna measure. I'm going to temp. I'm gonna do all of that,
Mhm.
because I love to make these candles.
How did you
I
get
love
into
it.
that? Like, that's such a
Um,
weird thing. I remember when
money.
she came, she was like, I want to make candles. I was like, what?
Let me tell you. So, again, like I said, I've always had a passion for candles.
Mm-hmm.
I would spend so much money
Buying candles.
buying candles.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, okay, I gotta go out here. I gotta search for scents that I really like. I can't just go online and see, nah. So I say, well, let's see what this is working with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go
Just
ahead
make it
and just
yourself,
make
huh?
it my own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so this way, when I say make it my own, I can blend my own scents the
Mhm.
way I want them to
Mhm.
smell. I'm not, prescribed to the already done. I
Mhm.
don't have to worry about all that.
Right. Because you know what you want it to smell like.
And I can burn them when I want,
Mm-hmm.
because I burn candles all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
every day. And I got bad allergies yet, but I'm burning
You
candles.
still burn a candle?
Oh, I'm gonna burn me some candles.
Yeah, so even like with the custom brand, get the go get a candle right there. She does if you wanted to add candles like to your own brand, she does private label candles as well. So we have a manifestation candle. She made our manifestation. She makes all of our candles, right? So all of our candles that go to our wellness subscription boxes, this manifestation candle. So she came in here in full chemist mode, y'all. Let me tell you, like before we made this candle, I knew what I wanted in it. Like I was like, I wanted to like the energy to come from it to help people that are sitting down, because it goes with our manifestation journal. The energy that comes from it help people to get creative and all of those things. I know the feel, I knew the feel that I wanted to have. So baby, she came in here full chemist mode with all of the oils and the scents, and see, this scent gives this and this scent. I was like, wait a minute, what is all that?
But you got what you wanted.
And after about an hour and a half, like I was like, okay, well, I want this combination with this. I had to research. I didn't even know they had all of these oils going on. I was like, I didn't even know all of this. So initially, I'd have been like, add some sage and lavender to it. I don't know, because those are my two go-to scents. You know what I mean? So she came in here in full chemist mode with a whole box of different scents and was like, smell this. This does this. This does this. I was like fully like she done researched it and know everything that it gives off.
Can trigger memories for you. You know, it takes you to different places if they're done right. So if they're done right, it can transport me to the beach, even though I'm standing in my kitchen.
I would rather burn it on the beach though.
I agree with that. But if you can't get there right then and there, light that candle and let it calm you. Let it bring you that, give you that sense memory. So and that one of the biggest things that I love about candles is that I could burn a candle, say a confetti type candle, right? It brings me back birthday cake. Then it'll trigger another memory for me. Oh, you know what? I remember we had this
for my birthday, right?
So candles do a lot of things. Calming, especially lavender and chamomile. If you mix those just right, rest. That's all you want to do. It calms you. Yeah. And so I love that about candles. And that's why I say I burn them all day.
Well, I ain't been to the airport yet this year because I haven't traveled. Do any of these make me think of the airport?
We can work on that.
Oh, okay. Give me an airport candle.
We could definitely work.
When I can't go to the airport, I would like to feel like
gotcha.
I'm there. I like it to mentally take me like to the airport
with some air and some flop.
I'm
gonna bring you.
Yeah, come up with something with that. Absolutely. Yes.
I can do that.
So, how did the entrepreneurship journey really quickly help you to transition from full-time employment to full-time entrepreneurship? Because I remember, because it came up the other day when you and I had that session initially at the coffee house, and you were scared to death, and I put that on Facebook. Facebook come up with their memories. I said, I was like, we about to have a coaching session. She was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Yes, bring your laptop. It's gonna be a while.
And I've been in trouble ever since, but it's been a good trouble. But it has really opened up a lot of things in my life, right? It has afforded me time that I never thought I had, right? Because I was always go, busy, doing this, or whatever. So it gave me time to be able to do the things and take care of my parents. You know how my mom is disabled, my stepdad, he's disabled, and I'm responsible for them. So now when they have doctor's appointments, I'm available to go and do
correct.
That,
ain't got to take no time off
right,
work.
And don't have to worry about that. When they need medicines, like today I had to go take my mom her meds because she forgot, I'm available to do that. Even the grocery shopping. Just to be able to say, you know what, it's vacation time, y'all. Let's go travel somewhere. I don't have to worry about whether or not somebody's going to approve my time off.
Absolutely.
Because I'm that somebody.
Yeah, I'm going to approve it anyway.
Right,
So now, when I was working, I was going to approve, it was going to be PTO, prepare to others. Because if you say no, it wasn't that I wasn't going to go. It's just that you was going to have to get somebody else to do it. Yes.
So it has just opened up a lot of things in my life, and like I said, afforded me to be able to do a lot of the things that I just always pushed to the side, or I just didn't have, like I say, the time
to do them.
And believe it or not, working for myself, this entrepreneurial life, I'm less stressed. I'm less stressed. I mean, at the end of the day, I know, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Correct.
But it gives me such a sense of pride, I guess, to say, you know what, this is mine. So I'm going to take care of what's mine.
Correct.
So it's not for the faint heart.
It's not.
It's not.
Y'all know I tell y'all that every week. Like, this is the hardest thing I ever done in my life.
Yes.
I done had 2 kids, and I could honestly say this is harder than that. Like,
it's not, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
Yes, we're good. Well, thank you so much, Sissy, for coming on and talking to my audience here on the Mind TV series. Tell them how they can follow you and stay in touch with you if they want some candles. But y'all probably ain't gonna get no cake because a lot of y'all are out of town. But I got cakes today.
I do ship now.
Oh, okay. Well, then. Oh, okay. You ship them cakes?
I ship cakes.
Okay, well, y'all can get cakes
you
and
can
candles.
definitely
How
get
y'all
your
get cakes
your
and
cakes
candles?
shipped.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, now.
yeah.
Tell the people how to follow you, good.
I have, you can go to my website, which is www.chrissysweetcreations.com, and Chrissy's is spelled with the C. Creations is spelled with a Z on the end.
Yeah, no S or Z. Creations.
Right. Also, Facebook and Instagram, Chrissy's Sweet Creations, on both.
Good. And y'all stay following her, y'all, because I'm telling you, like, this is the candles that she's coming out with now. She's definitely going to have more because she just finished saying how she is revamping the website. It'll be back active and live next week with new candles, new scents. Y'all definitely want this Skittles. I promise you that. There's Skittles, and then there's a Starburst one up here somewhere as well.
Yes.
All of those smell amazing. If you like fruity scents like me, then these are the ones that you absolutely want to get and have to get. All right, y'all? So I just want to turn y'all on today.
Thank you.
And again, thank y'all for joining us this week. Join me again next week, same time, same place, same channel. Because I am going to bring you another boss entrepreneur that's going to tell you how their entrepreneurship journey has moved their lives in new directions. So until then, until next week, bye y'all.
Bye.